All right, and welcome back to A Dash of Sports Week 10 preview. We're going to be going over our top 10. This will incorporate the poll that came out last night with the college playoffs, the rankings. I've made a little bit of change to mine because, quite frankly, let's face it, that was a little bit of a bias, if you will, in the first rankings. Some crazy stuff out there, but this will be mine. Obviously, my opinions on what I think the top 10 is. But before we get into this week's, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know how we're doing. Make sure you leave your comments in the comment section below. So without further ado, we're going to get on with this week's top 10, and then we'll get into the picks here in just a few minutes. So without further ado, number 10, I've got Oklahoma State. This is what I see as my top 10 for the playoffs run right now. Let me know if you disagree, agree in the comments below. But I got at number 10, Oklahoma State, playing some of the best football in the Big 12 right now between Oklahoma, Baylor, Oklahoma State. It's going to be a race to see who gets into that Big 12 championship. But I got Oklahoma State coming in at number 10. Their defense, probably one of the best defenses I've seen in the Big 12 in a long time, as well as in the country. They're ranked up there really high right now, and I think they got a chance to pull it off this year, and that's coming from an Oklahoma fan. Coming in at number 9, Wake Forest, the ACC leaders right now. I think they got a legit chance. If they can win out the rest of their games, they got a tough game this week coming up. But if they can win out, they have a legitimate shot and a legitimate gripe to get in there over a one-loss, maybe one loss Alabama, one loss Ohio State, possibly. I'm a firm believer if you've lost a game to a unranked opponent, you probably shouldn't be ranked number 2 in the nation. That's my opinion, Dash's opinion, but let me know what you think. Number 8, Michigan, coming off a hard loss to Michigan State. This is the right ranking where they need to be. Michigan State was a tough game. They're both ranked up there really high, and it was a well-fought game. Harbaugh, again, not winning the big ones. He's got a losing record against Michigan State and Ohio State. So we'll see how that goes and how that continues. Michigan still has Ohio State. Ohio State still has Michigan State, so on and so forth. There's some this Big Ten East division will work itself out. Coming in at number 7, again, laughable that this team is at number 2, obviously due to the bias of the sports writers and that nature. Alabama, come on, people. They lost to Texas A&M is ranked now, but they lost at that point to an unranked Texas A&M with a backup quarterback. So Alabama being ranked number 2, give me a break. I got them at number 7. Coming in at number 6, 6, 5, and 4 are interchangeable, if you will. To me, their strength of schedule is kind of weak throughout, but it's kind of interchangeable. But right now I have Oregon at number 6. They had a little bit of stumble against UCLA. That's why I've got them ranked a little bit lower than Ohio State. I know they beat them, but Ohio State has played a lot better ball, and they're looking good right now. They've been the best. They've been the best team in football since that loss to Oregon. They played really, really, really great football. Besides Georgia, they're probably one of the best teams playing football right now. Coming in at number 5, I got the Sooners. A lot of gripes and complaints coming out of Sooner Nation, being ranked 8 in the national playoff poll. I got them ranked number 5. But here's the deal: if you win the Big 12, you go undefeated, you're in. Plain and simple. That's just my opinion. But if you win out, go undefeated, continue to put up that 40 to 50 points against the teams that you got left, you're probably in there. So we'll see how that goes. Number 4, like I said, I got Ohio State playing some of the best ball right now in the nation. Looking good. CJ Stroud looks good, looks comfortable again behind the center. Making some great throws, making some great plays. So I think Ohio State sits at number 4 for me right now. Number 3, Michigan State. The Sparties win a big one against their rivals, Michigan. Kenneth Walker 5 touchdowns on the ground. Amazing. 5 touchdowns. So that kid is a beast. If he's, he's one of my top picks for the Heisman this year. Again, just because you play for Alabama doesn't mean you're the greatest player in the nation. You've lost a game. Cincinnati, Michigan State haven't lost a game, so they should be in the talks for the Heisman, not some quarterback just because he plays for Alabama. But that's Dash's opinion. It's my opinion. Let me know what you think so far in the comments below. Coming in number 2, until you lose, there's no way you should be out of the top 2. There's no way that you should be out of the top 2 until you lose. I've got Cincinnati at number 2. They've had some rough outings the last couple weeks, but they're still undefeated. Strength of schedule. I mean, come on. I get it. Alabama. Oh my God, they play the SEC. But I mean, how many bottom feeders are in the SEC right now? How many? They had a rough outing against Tennessee. Teams have figured Alabama out, and it's just because of talent-wise that some of these teams didn't beat Alabama, but they haven't figured out. Alabama still has to get through Auburn, and Alabama still has to get through Georgia. I don't. At the end of the day, Alabama's number 2 ranking is going to be a moot point because they're going to lose to one of those teams. Mark my words. So Cincinnati looking good. They got a great game coming up Well, I don't want to say a great game, but they got another game that they can prove themselves against Tulsa, and they got a way to get back in the good graces of the pollsters, if you will. But to be undefeated and dropped below 3 one-loss teams, it was ridiculous, and that's my opinion. And number 1, until they can be dethroned, I don't see anybody beating them this year. They're my odds-on favorite to win the entire thing. Georgia, they're a beast at defense. And if you can hold teams to 7 points, 0 points per game, I don't care if you're Alabama. I don't care if people say the offense is not great. Yeah, defense wins championships, folks. And if that defense can keep people scoring 7 and 0 points per game, you can't beat them. Because all they got to do is put up 14 or 21. That's how you win championships, folks. That's how you win championships. So that's my top 10 reflecting the bowl, the playoff rankings. Let me know what you think. And did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Did I miss somebody? Please let me know. Now I got my top 3. Not much has changed in my top 3 for the Heisman. Still, I got Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati, Kenneth Walker III from Michigan State coming in at 2nd, and C.J. Stroud making his way right back up. I got him at number 3 from Ohio State. I'm not a big, as much as I like OU, I just don't see Caleb Williams. He's a freshman. He didn't start the entire year. Yes, he's had phenomenal numbers, great numbers, but at the end of the day, I don't think he'll be in the top 3, and he definitely won't win the Heisman. So he's got a couple years ahead of him still. So we'll see how it goes. But that's my Heisman. If you think I missed something, if you agree, disagree, let me know. I also want to hear your thoughts on the first playoff rankings. Am I right? Is there some bias going on there? Is there some oversight that that some of these teams are not seeing? I get it. Like I said, OU, you should be happy that you're at number 8 in the national rankings because some of the games that you've played are pathetic. Some of the wins, you got by the skin of your teeth. So 8, I think, is a good ranking for that. But Alabama, Michigan being up there so high, I don't know. I especially over Cincinnati, I don't see it. And we all know how the ranking system favors Alabama. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's get into the picks this week. We got a 2-way tie for overall standings in the picks. Steve Jones made up a 1 game. So now Chris Price and Steve Jones are tied at the top for first. But Mike Rucker won the last week with the tiebreaker, having got as close to the passing yards that Texas Tech had without going over. So he was the closest. So good job, Mike. Congrats, Steve. Congrats, Chris, on the tie at top. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. We got a few weeks left, so it's still anybody's ball game, at least in the top 5, top 6. So keep watching out for that. So without further ado, let's get into the picks this week. First game up, we got Wake Forest at North Carolina. So I got, like I said, Wake Forest is holding their destiny in their hand. Can that outlast into North Carolina? I don't think so. I got an upset here. I got North Carolina 31, Wake Forest 28. North Carolina 31, Wake Forest 28. Missouri going into Georgia. It's a no-brainer. Missouri does not have what it takes. Georgia 31, Missouri 7. Georgia 31, Missouri 7. Ohio State at Nebraska. Ohio State wins this one handily, 41-17. Ohio State 41-17. Baylor going into TCU. Baylor 35, TCU a goose egg. With Gary Patterson gone, I don't know if they score any points. It's going to be a new coach, a new system. I don't even know if they put any points on the board. I got Baylor 35, big goose egg for TCU. Okie State going into West Virginia. West Virginia pulls off an upset against Iowa State. Iowa State was looking good. Beat the Pokies from Oklahoma State. We're looking to be in the driver's seat again to get into that Big 12 championship. Then they turn around and lose a heartbreaker to West Virginia. Good on you, West Virginia. But I don't think they can beat Oklahoma State. So I got Oklahoma State 30, West Virginia 27. Auburn at Texas A&M. Can Auburn keep up their winning ways? Can Texas A&M keep up their winning ways? I say Texas A&M's got this one 27, Auburn 21. Tulsa goes into Cincinnati. Cincinnati needs a blowout win here to keep the pollsters on their side. Cincinnati 38, Tulsa 14. Cincinnati 38, Tulsa 14. Tennessee at Kentucky. Kentucky's on a 2-game slide, and I think that continues. I think Kentucky lost their shine. Tennessee 29, Kentucky 24. Tennessee 29, Kentucky 24. LSU at Alabama. A few years ago, this would have been a great matchup. This was one that Alabama would have had to watch out for. I don't think so this year, at least in this game. Alabama 35, LSU 10. Alabama 35, LSU 10. And the final game, Oregon at Washington. I think Washington has Oregon's number. I got Washington with the upset 27, Oregon 24. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my picks. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your comments are. These are due by Friday, 9 p.m. Your picks are due by Friday, 9 p.m. And the tiebreaker is how much total combined yardage between Auburn and Texas A&M. Total combined yardage of Auburn, Texas A&M. That is your tiebreaker for the week. As again, like the guest pickers, keep shooting us some guest pickers. You can't get in the year-long standings, but you can. If you're a guest picker, if you keep picking, you can get into the bowl season once that comes around and have a shot at winning $100. If you're a guest picker, you get a shot at winning $100 in the bowl season. So keep doing a guest pick. We'll keep you in the standings as well. So thank you for coming out. Have a great day, and we'll see you. And I love football.